Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Ignacio de la Fuente, a former city councilman right here in the city of Oakland. Ignacio, when we went to break, I said uh, a lot of stuff. But what I really want to do now is talk a little bit about ranked choice voting. What is ranked choice voting?
The worst system that any city will. I mean, that's ranked choice voting, and we don't have to go that far. Look at the last 10 years of the results of ranked choice voting. It's not only a system, that, in my opinion, uh, it's an attack on democracy, Bob. The way I see it,
Why do you think it's an attack on democracy?
because people, especially black people, women, die for the right to vote.
Right. We
Years and
certainly
years ago,
did.
people died for the right to vote.
Right.
One person, one vote.
Right.
Democracy at work. What do we have today? A confusing system that is designed really to confuse people really, and then at the end of the day have the results that we have in the last decade. The reality is that you and I know the voting is not a simple thing. People are, especially seniors and immigrants, people that come from other countries, have some challenges with voting, meaning the ballots that some nowadays are 3 pages long. So if you make it more difficult, when I got into politics, Bob, and many of us, John George, Ron Dellums, many people worked their asses off to encourage people to vote, to bring people to make the right choice of voting.
So in those days, in terms of voting, you were able to put an X right next to the name of a person that you wanted to vote for. The ranked choice doesn't allow you to do that. You get initially put an X, and then you don't know who else you're going to vote for. Is that right?
That's right, and not only that, used to be the primaries, and the system would allow the constituents, allow the voters to look at the difference between Bob and Ignacio,
Right.
to have a debate so people know where you're coming from, or answer questions, demonstrate your knowledge. Not anymore, my friend. You look at ranked choice voting with 10 people running, and you remember this election. First, you got to vote for three.
Right.
Then it was five. Then it's up to 10. Okay. To this day, I heard there is a lawsuit being filed against the Alameda County
A
registered
lot of
voters.
lawsuits, I
I heard
understand,
that,
have been
right?
filed.
Because of the mistakes and the errors during the last election. That's what ranked choice voting generates. For some people, for the people sitting up in the sky, they want to divide and conquer, it's good. For me and you, for the people that actually really suffer the consequences of the people that get elected, ask them if they are happy or they are satisfied, not only with the system, but with the people that they have elected. It's just
Well, the problem is you don't know who you're going to elect. You got to sit and wait for the ranked choice thing to play itself out. So you just guessing. I understand it takes about 3 or 4 weeks from day to day. Who's going to be the mayor? I mean, does that make sense? I'm just confused.
it makes no sense. If you look at what happened with the school district, look what happened with that election in the school district. Look what it's just. It's a system that is really not designed, really, for to make it easy for people to vote and for people to know who they elected. Your vote doesn't count, my friend. I'm sorry. But with ranked choice voting, the reality is that you mark 2 or 3 X's, and at the end of the day, as you stated, nobody knows. The system is the one that tells you at the end. A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, God knows. Obviously, it doesn't work. So hopefully now
So
that
it,
we have experienced that system for the last 10 years or so, we should change it and we should get rid of it.
so the system really creates confusion, a ball of confusion. I believe that was the temptations of somebody's a ball of confusion. I mean, voting ought to be simple. You have a name on the ballot, you put an X to that name, and that ought to be the end of the day.
I don't know if you saw some of the debates during the mayor's campaign with 6 people or 10 people sitting at the table.
Yeah.
with no time to even answer a question, okay, the reality. Because this guy, it's just not a system that really is friendly for people. So hopefully people learn from our mistakes, learn that has this thing doesn't work. Either we collect signatures or we get the city council, which I believe that will never do it, to put it on the ballot. So the citizens of Oakland can vote on this now that we know, now that we have experienced the system, now that we know it doesn't work, now that we know all the pitfalls.
So
Maybe
ranked
with the
choice
exception.
doesn't get you, in your opinion, the best person for the job. Is that what
Hell
you're
no.
saying?
Can I say it more? Can I help?
So what can you do about it?
Change it. I mean, I think that we got to collect signatures. We got to organize to make sure that we get rid of ranked choice voting. But more than anything, Bob, I think that the cities of Oakland, sometimes we complain a lot. Look what's happening to us. I mean, our neighborhoods are being ransacked. You cannot park your car. You cannot go to dinner with your wife because you're afraid of putting it downtown. Our restaurants are closing. Our businesses are leaving. Excuse me. What else we need to wait for to get more involved? Today at 2 o'clock, some of the seniors, some of the small landlords that are losing their properties because of the moratorium, going to demonstrate in City Hall for the first time. The citizens are waking up, and I'm going to be there with them, waking up, because I think that it's not fair. One of the things that I'm very proud of when I was there, I might have been wrong many times,
And when you
but I
say
was fair.
I think that's important. Citizens are waking up.
Mhm.
And we're going to talk about that in a moment when we return. But we first got to go to break, so don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Ignacio de la Fuente, who is a former city councilman right here in the city of Oakland. We will be right back.